Welcome back to Box of Shadows. We are finishing up our healing rays. Sun is shining still. Still got a little sage leaf over here, ready to be mooshed. My mortar. And my pestle with the spoon. Just kind of making product, like I said in the other video. We're kind of taking stock and trying to get ready to rock for the season. Because it's coming up. Unseasonably warm too, but as always, gonna take it. That's gonna get away now. But I think that's enough. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below if you don't think that's enough. Because, like, I could be wrong. Maybe there's some witches and wizards out there, Wiccans and wild childs who know better than I. Because I'm really just kind of a layman making accidents. Let's see what we can do to salvage that, but I think I've just dumped way too much in there. That's okay. I'm pretty certain it's Bob Ross. We all make happy little accidents. And someone, actually, one's a little finer than the other, but I think sense of mojo, it's all stuck on the... No, I think in sense of, one's just a little finer, one's a little coarser. So someone will find theirs, because, you know, that's how life works. You just sort of find, and that's sage done, which would have been this. But I had a little extra from the last one, because we made some small candles. Ooh, mint. Oh. I should probably go for some mint gelato, but every time I go for gelato, I end up getting affogato instead. Best gelato I had was on a hot day in London. It sounds like a brag, but it was actually a really miserable day. Like, you're on vacation, you're doing your best to feel good and try to be, you know, chipper. Hello, speaking of chipper, I guess you're coming with. Oh, now I have to come rescue this. But this was after a long week, and I had made a very stupid vow to my cousin that I would take a picture of every tank in Bovington camp. Well, I was there with my parents, and they didn't want to do Bovington camp, so they dropped me off at open and picked me up at close. Whew, my dogs were barking, and then we immediately went to London, and I'm like, this is a city. I don't love a city. I like the countryside. But, you know, there's some cool... There's a lot of cool stuff to see in London. I mean, I tried to do the Belfast, but man, my feet were so wrecked by the end of that week. We were just staying there a couple of days before our flight. And I was just like, I want to enjoy this. This should be great. And it wasn't. And we went up on the Shard, which is cool. It's like kind of the Sears Tower, but, you know, London. And I thought, no, this is going to be so lame. My feet hurt so bad. Oh, my God, kill me. And we got up there, and there was this little gelato stand. There was a Moe at a Shandon. Got a Moe at a Shandon. Da-da-da-da. You know, like, oh, God. I was like, you know, a little ice cream would be nice. And good Lord Almighty, that, ooh, goddesses, that gelato was so good. Everyone says England is cold. It's not. It's not actually like cold. I don't know why people. It rains, but it's not cold. Oh, the sun beating down on you. Chamomile flower. But man, that gelato's first time I ever had gelato actually, and it was like you could feel that mint tingling in your mouth. Oh, so good. And that as what I'm smelling right here. I've lost my spoon into one of these. It's bound to happen. I was rambling about the best gelato I ever had. It really was good. God, it was hot. You know, glass buildings, when you get up there, the sun just beats down on you. Great views, but I don't know. Cities are cities. In the countryside. Just gonna moosh this because we're doing one-on-one. But yeah, if you get the chance to visit London, there's too much. You get the chance to visit any city, there's too much. You know, you go to Washington, D.C. that is, and like you can't even go to all the Smithsonian's. You go to Dayton, Ohio, you can barely visit, you know, the air and space there. 5 hangars of absolutely wondrous objects. Those are the things I like. The tangible things. You know, the objects, the actual... the stuff, the big stuff, too. I like the vehicles. You know, you see it and you really get a sense of how just wretched it all is. You know... like, you wonder, how could a cause be so worth it? But I guess there are causes that are. But, yeah. It's good that we have these things to look at, to remember, to see. So many people don't want to see, to remember, but, you know, not to be cliche, but those who forget it. And... so many people do. Let's put these guys in the pot. That's why we need these little moments of Zen. Little reminders. As a student of history, I do like to try to... oh, I need that. Hammer it in. Bring back my lavender leaves. Because it's so easy to just take things straight as they are, right now, at this moment. And that is important. You must be in the moment. But you can't forget the past. I forget who it was that said trying to steer the... or trying to... how's it go? Something about driving, looking in the rearview mirror. Trying to, you know, plot the course of the future... by looking at the past is looking in the rearview mirror. Someone very smart, I think. Someone who's got a name that people remember. Certainly not a name like mine, but... you know. Name is what it is. And I disagree with that. You need to look in the rearview mirror. Like, is he out there driving around not looking in the rearview mirror? That's unsafe, man. You're gonna pass, or you're gonna fail driver's ed. Like... dang son, you have to look in the rearview mirror. You can't just... you have to be aware of what's around you. You can't just look forward. Yes, you need to be looking at the road. Talking to you, some of you. You know who you are. Or you probably don't because you're rubbernecking. But... I mean, that's so black and white. That's very Sith, you know? It's an absolute. You can't steer the future. You can't. You have to always look back. Don't live on it, but if you aren't looking back, then you're not learning. And if you're not learning, you're stagnating. And, well, there's a certain Mr. Darwin who'd like a word with you. Can't stagnate. You do got to move forward a little bit. You don't have to charge forward straight into it, obviously, you know. You know, it's like the duality of this conversation and me making this candle here. While I am focused on what I'm doing. I'm just trying to talk to you. Pass a little bit of my nonsense wisdom on. I do like there's a Malifor. Burn that bridge when we get to it. You know, there's wisdom in nonsense. There is. You have to be able to think into the abstract. You can't just follow equations. Equations are important because that is, well, this is where I'd make a time joke, but I just realized I've already ground it up, so it's not the time for that. Ran out of time, I guess. But time moves on. So are we. Because I've completely distracted myself from my nonsense points. I had a point. Maybe I didn't have a point. That's nonsense. That's life. Sometimes you think you've got a point. Sometimes you think you've grabbed onto something. And you haven't. It's grabbed air. It's like mosquitoes. Excuse my language. I'm gonna have to, make the boss lady earn her money on that one. But, you know, that's why we're here, right now. To just blow air. Pass gas, as it were. Oh, I think I'd like a little more than that. Favorite. I love rosemary, but I wish it came in like different format. I mean, someone can pre-ground it. I literally grind my own for food. Oops. I'm gonna have to, give it the beans. Whoa, don't fall, please. That would have been a mess. Been like life. You hear that a lot, because that's life. And yes, I do laugh at my own jokes. You're gonna have to live with that, because if you can't laugh at yourself, what are you doing? I mean, you gotta be able to laugh at and with yourself. If you ain't doing that, then are you laughing at all? And you should be laughing. Even if it's a fake laugh, drop a fake laugh if you have to. Like, they say that if you fake a smile, it becomes real. Like, the more you fake a smile, the more you actually, like, feel like smiling. I don't know if that's true, but, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix did it pretty well. A little reference there. It was a good movie. Wouldn't say it was a good Joker movie, but it was a very good psychological, like, certainly was better than Dark Knight Rises. Let's be honest here. I love Tom Hardy, but I'm Sean Connery. I mean, Heath Ledger already did the, like, edgy villain and paid for it, unfortunately. You know? That's the other thing, is you can't delve too deep sometimes. Sometimes you gotta come up for air. Be goofy. You can't grimace at everything. Carry all the time. I hear there's a sequel coming. Ooh, I've just made a small mess. I hear there's a sequel coming out. It's like I like everything about it except what I've seen. I don't know. But, that's life. Sequels happen. Unfortunately, remakes happen. Making a mess. I'm shaking the table a bit much. And that's the other thing, is sometimes, like, you don't want the remake to happen because you love the original. Just love the original. It's okay to ignore new things. Very Luddite thing to say, I suppose. I could powder that a bit more, but I think that'll do for the big ones. But, like what you like. If you want to play Doom on your potato-powered calculator, play Doom on your potato-powered calculator. Like, you do you. I'm making a mess as usual. And that's all you really can do, to be honest, unless you want to, do something else. That was not quite that. Definitely, I could have worded that so much better. Like you can do people's expectations. You can be a person that people want you to be. Like, that's cool. If you want to be that person and like pose, there's nothing actually wrong with being a poser. Like, superheroes pose all the time. Like, they even make fun of it in a couple of superhero movies lately. Superheroes pose. Why can't we? We're all superheroes, so. Well, I mean, some of us might be more villainous, roguelike. Onward to Cinnamon, that was Pine Needles. And some of us are just out doing what we do, which is making these candles. Yes, that's more. There we go. My goodness, hopefully my hair's not popping in front of the camera there. I was leaned a little bit. It's a little poofy. It's been washed. Whoa, don't knock stuff off. No tables. And do no harm. Remember that. But take no shit. But remember, you have to be able to differentiate between taking no shit and, causing it. This has to be beaten. Sorry. This is tough stuff today. It's so nice and it's not raining. I was like, when I brought the stock papers back, I was like, do I just leave them? It's raining and I didn't finish completely, but it's something. Ooh. Is that the song or is that a motorbike out this front? I'm guessing it was a motorbike, considering the boss lady's investigating.
Sounds like a chainsaw.
Could be a chainsaw. Oh, man. My Nemesis was out the other day. I hate those. Leaf blowers. I barely know them by their original name. I know them by a very unfortunate name. They're so unnecessary, and they're loud, man. Like, leaves fall. That's what they do. That's why they call it fall, probably. Autumn, autumnus. It's spring now, anyways. Sorry, this thing's screeching like that. I'm looking for just the nicest little piece. But they just, like... It's like, why? I get it's easier than raking, but like, it just seems unnecessary. I guess the leaves technically kill the grass in the short term, but the decomposing leaves feed the grass later, and they feed the trees as well. That's part of the reason they do it. I mean, do people think they're smarter than Mother Nature? Was that Uma Thurman?
Yeah.
It's not kind to fool Mother Nature. God, that was a cheesy Batman, but I do love it so much. That whole quadruplet is so good. Fight me, I don't care. Don't fight me, you'll lose, because I'm very passionate about the 1992 Tim Burton Batman series. It's like Batman Beyond. It's total mint. And you get like every now and then you get haters who are like, Batman Beyond is really dumb. And it's like, you're what? Like, this is the continuation of like all the great Batman animateds, and you're poo-pooing it. This is Justice League Unlimited's legacy. Like, they literally made an episode because the first show got canceled by Fox. they made an episode to explain why Terry looks like Bruce. Left his DNA all over town. Not remotely what I mean. It's a great line. Great shows. And that brings us to an abrupt end to our little journey here. These are 2 healing ray candles. The next in the series that we made previously. Or maybe not previously, depending on, the boss lady's decision. So, if you're still sitting around listening to me ramble nonsense, Confucianisms or whatever, fortune cookieisms, thumbs up, hit the bell, subscribe, leave a comment. We're getting lonely. We need comments. Tell us what you think. Please. Do you exist? Do I exist? I don't know, but thanks for watching.